Hello, I am Dan Stapleton,
And I'm Michael Raparez.
and we're here to talk about Oddworld New and Tasty, which you are reviewing.
Yes, I am reviewing it. Oddworld New and Tasty, or as it's identified on its opening title screen, New and Tasty Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. In any case, it's an HD ground-up remastering of Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, the first Oddworld game. And let's just... Sorry. And I just want to show you, before we begin, it preserves the title screen of the original, obviously completely redone.
It's a little bit nicer looking than an original Xbox game.
Well, original PlayStation
right.
game. Yeah, but it's you can have these are the various commands that Abe can give to his followers, like
Follow me.
and the biggest improvement is this one,
Oh, yeah.
which I'll show you momentarily, and some of the old classics are here as well.
Okay.
Well, let's just start in at the beginning here. You can see it has selectable difficulties, which the original never had. This is actually kind of a big deal. We're going to be purists here and start on hard.
It was asking for trouble.
Oh, yeah. And there's co-op, although that's really a misnomer. It's just you're trading the controller back and forth with another player.
That's not co-op.
No, it's really not. I mean, you start at the checkpoints where you leave off, but that's about the extent of it, like
Right.
wherever the last player died.
So what's kind of the hook of it? It's a puzzle platformer, and you're escorting.
Yeah, it's a puzzle platformer. You are a weakling. And should I skip this and then we start in?
Yeah, let's just get into the actual gameplay here. People can watch trailers all they want.
So you are a weakling. You're Abe. You've been a slave all your life in this factory, and you find out that they're going to process you and all your friends into their latest meat product. So you have to escape, obviously. And you can do this several different ways. You can just shoot through the game on your own, ignore everybody else, and save yourself, or you can rescue your fellow workers. And one key thing here is that they brought back the secret areas. I'll show you one of them here. It's pretty obvious. You might see that trapdoor there. It was completely hidden behind that barrel in the original.
But they kind of give you the little hint that it's there
Yep.
from a certain camera angle.
Mm-hmm. And if you've played the original, you probably know it's there. But these trap-filled rooms, they're filled with those things that shock you if you try to use your magic powers. And let's rescue these guys here. One new feature is this.
Follow me. Everyone. Hello.
You can get everyone's attention at once,
Follow me.
Oh,
and then they die.
and have them murdered.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your favorite part about this game?
This, actually, what I'm about to do.
Which is
I just
can't really
mind
tell what
controlled
that
the guard up there.
Okay.
And he can do things like this. He can flip switches. He can,
Jump to his death.
jump to his death. He can kill his friends. He can kill your friends. He's very versatile, and there's a lot of them.
And what's the limitation on your ability to mind control an enemy like that?
Well, those you might have noticed that thing at the top that shocked me when I tried to start chanting.
Yep.
Those things, if they're nearby,
Okay.
will always destroy your ability to chant. But chanting is also important because it opens bird portals, like so.
All right. And that just gets all of your friends to safety.
Exactly. So, mission accomplished, more or less. Only a couple people are dead. So, I can try to get back up to the actual storyline.
So about how long did it take you to beat this game?
About 7.5 hours.
Okay, so it's not an epic length game, but it is.
No, it's not. Again, it really depends on how you decide to play it. It's kind of structured so that you can do a speed run through it if you want. Like, it'll keep tabs on how long it takes you to get through each level. You can practice individual levels. And if you decide to play it selfish and just, again, save yourself, you're going to save a lot of time. You're going to get a worse ending.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a much faster playthrough.
It is a neat looking game.
It really is. And
It's
it looks
creepy.
like this is kind of how I remember the original looking. You go back and play the original now, it looks kind of terrible.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier that you had gone back and played the original to prep for this, and just it was unpleasant.
It was like it looks really grainy. Playing the PlayStation 1 version on the PS3, it does not age well. Certain things like you might notice the levels scrolling smoothly right here. That was not a thing in the original. It was a bunch of static rooms that you just walked between. Things would often reset as you'd move from screen to screen. Also, you can beat up on the other Mudokons here.
It doesn't seem like it's in line with your goal of freeing them.
No, it's really not. But you can also do that. They added ragdoll physics as well to the bodies, so that's kind of a neat touch.
So what's the biggest downside to this game so far? I say so far, you've already beaten it.
Yeah, so far. Well, the biggest downside is probably if you're coming at this as an old fan and you're expecting any sort of like steep challenge, it's not there. I don't think that's necessarily a downside though. Like,
what did they do to remove the tough challenges that they had in the original?
Well, I think a lot of the timing is slightly more generous. Oh, sorry, dude. A lot of the timing is slightly more generous. The traps seem like they're a little bit easier to sneak through. Part of that is because of the new perspective and the smoother controls, which are not clunky at all. They were kind of clunky in the original. Also, you're not completely defenseless. You have grenades. And that's another thing. You get in the first game, you would get one grenade at a time from machines like this. Now you have 3 to play around with. And you can aim them using the right analog stick.
So it hasn't really given you a lot of new tools, but it has improved the way you use the old ones.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I can accidentally blow myself up. And they hang there.
And this game, we're playing on the PS4 now, but
Yes.
it works on PS3 and Vita as well, right?
It will, yeah. They've confirmed PS3 and Vita versions. They haven't really said when they'll be released.
Okay.
We know this is coming July 22nd.
Yep.
Which is...
You're probably watching that now.
Out. Yeah. But it's also coming to Xbox 360 and PC.
Not Xbox One?
I'm not sure about that. I don't think so. Oh, crap. Yeah, so that's a thing you can do. Blow yourself up. And, I can deal with that guy again, or I can hold down the touchpad and deal with him again because I did a bad job quick saving. But it also has a quick save feature.
That right there is huge. A quick save feature in a tough game that didn't have one before. Like that probably explains a good deal of why it's not as viciously hard.
So say I blow myself up here.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. And I don't want to deal with that with the guard again. I just hold down the touchpad and now I'm right back where I was.
That is huge.
Yeah. It's a big improvement. Yeah, I guess if you're gonna split hairs here, the fact that not a whole lot has fundamentally changed in terms of the content. Like this is all stuff that was in the original game. It's been retooled a bit, but it's fundamentally the same. The levels are the same. The challenges are the same. I think this is really just the best way to play them.
Mm-hmm. But so you wouldn't necessarily recommend that somebody go back and play the original instead of this?
No, I really wouldn't. I'm sure there are a lot of people who have a lot of fondness for it, who maybe have some rose-tinted glasses. But what was brilliant on a PS1 and a 480i TV just looks and plays hideously now. So yeah, if you want to go back to Oddworld and to Abe's Odyssey specifically, and it is a great story worth experiencing, then this is a fantastic option, and I'm just really happy that it exists. I kind of hope that we see the sequel soon.
Yeah, it is really refreshing to see a game where they have gone back and changed a lot, in kind of structurally to make it play better, but have also preserved the parts that worked well. If you change too much about a game that a lot of people love, then you're in a lot of trouble. But because you risk getting rid of what they loved. Yeah. But if all you're getting rid of is the frustrating parts, then the only people you annoy are the ones that love frustration.
That's true. Well, there is one change actually. You can see the board behind me up there, and the original Oddworld had 99 Mudokon employees that you were supposed to rescue. The new game has 299.
Oh.
it's still fundamentally like they've moved around a bit. There are more of them, like in specific places where you might have found one worker or two in the old game. You'll now find like 4 or 5. It makes what you're doing feel a little more impactful without really changing or adding anything fundamentally.
I love the look of it. I love his glowing yellow eyes. The lighting in general is really nice.
Yeah, they did a great job with the lighting. Things are much more visible than they were in the original game. Like if you go back and play it again, it's very flat. There's you don't really get these camera angles giving you a clearer view of the floor.
Looks pretty sweet.
Yep.
All right. Well, that is Oddworld New and Tasty. You're giving it an 8.5, right?
8.5, yes.
And that means great.
Yes. And this is just a fantastic game. Again, the strange thing about it is it's tempting to say like, oh well, it's an old game, it hasn't aged well, but that's not the case at all. The gameplay has aged beautifully. Like this was a game that was seen as ahead of its time when it came out, and now it's just as good, if not better.
Especially since they fixed all the control problems.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you for coming by and showing it to us.
Well,
and there you go. For more on Oddworld, stay on IGN.